Hello there, folks. I hope things are going wonderfully for you. Hey, we're going to take a look at the last section in this chapter right now. That's section 5.6. Get my pen working here. That is section 5.6, which begins on page 238 in your book. With section 5.6, this one deals a lot with scientific notation and being able to multiply and divide numbers in scientific notation. We aren't going to be as concerned about engineering notation, ordinary notations, everything else like that. But just those major ones that way. So, couple things to keep in mind when you're looking at a number in scientific notation or converting a number to scientific notation. We'll pick one out here. Let's say we have 1,234. Okay, decimal point is currently right there. But the first thing that you do is you have to move the decimal point. So the first number out front is greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. Okay, so in this case, I have to move my decimal point over here 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So my number there, excuse me, is greater than or equal to 1 or less than 10. So now I have 1.234 times 10 to what power? And while I move it over 1, 2, 3 spots, okay, and so it would be 1.234 times 10 to the third, times 10 to the third. That's what you're going to be looking at for your answer with something like this. When it says to convert, 1,234 to scientific notation, that's what you're going to need to do. This number here out front, what you're working with right here, get some color here, right here, okay, your number has to be greater than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to 1, okay. Now, the other thing, too, is if you take a look at this kind of makes sense, too, as far as how this answer how came to be that way. If I have 1.234 times 10 to the third, that means I've got 1.234 times 10 times 10 times 10, okay? And that would mean that I have 1.234 times 1,000, okay? And then to get back to my answer, I have to take this times 1,000. So really, I'm just going to move the decimal point over 3 to the right. So I'm ending up with what we started there with that. Okay? And so now that I got it over there, oops, let me erase that. That doesn't make sense. Now, what I have is I can, put my whole answer back together, 1,234, and get where I started. But the main thing right now is we want to have our answer in scientific notation, which that would be it right there. It also talks about multiplication in scientific notation and adding in division in scientific notation. And that takes place on page 240, 241, right around in there. And once again, it's just the same things we talked about, but it also talks about making sure you use your calculator correctly too with all those things like that. So, if you have any questions, once again, let me know. Another piece that it had too is a use of the caret on page 239. Okay, to use something like that effectively. It represents a power and those different things like that, and so it will be very beneficial as you're doing your answers in your work with all those things too. And I think Darla, when she had put some of those things in, it has talked about some of those pieces too. So so anyway, you can. Big thing is, once again, as you're doing some of these problems here and punch them into your calculator, make sure that your calculator is able to do these problems with all that too. There are some review exercises you can do that go along with this unit if you so desire, and those are on page 246, and that is 1 through 100. 1 through a C note there with that. So anyway, those are some problems that you can do to practice there. The first part is just changing back and forth between scientific notation and ordinary form. When it talks about multiply and dividing them too, make sure you punch them into your calculator correctly. If you have any questions on that too, make sure you ask. Let's gonna finish up about 64 with that, because we aren't gonna worry about engineering notation at all with that. So I'm gonna go in here, and I am gonna make that 1 to 64 for an assignment there with all that. So I think that will make more sense in the long run with all that stuff too. So, questions at all? If you do have any questions, you know where I'm at. Please don't hesitate to throw me an email or give me a call, and we'll go from there. So, take care. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.